Here we go, that's it. Excellent. Microphone's now working. Good evening to you all. I apologise that my background is a little fuzzy. My green screen has just decided to go a bit funny just as I was going live, and I haven't got time to adjust it now. So if I disappear and look a bit sort of spooky like a ghost, it's because my green screen behind me, which is enabling me to have the picture of the church behind me, is doing funny things. Well, here we are again. It's Saturday night. It's 7:30, and we're here for another quiz. Goodness, how many weeks we've been doing this? It must be 9 or 10 weeks, I guess. And still you come back for more. Nice to see that we've got 30 odd households linked up at the moment on Facebook and YouTube, and joining us for another quiz night tonight. I wonder how you'll all do tonight. Right, I see Michael. I just need to check in on Michael. Good evening from Michael D. Fueled by a cheeky little Sauvignon Blanc tonight. Okay, well, Michael and Di have got their wine, so they should be okay. It probably won't help the answers to the questions, but at least they'll have a good evening. And also welcome Tracy Stagg. I notice that she says she's joining us for the first time tonight. Nice to see Bishop Karen there again. Good evening to you. Anybody else joining us for the first time tonight? If you are, just pop a little message up in the comments so we know. You're most welcome. If you've not been with us a couple of weeks, it's nice that you come back as well. Anybody is welcome to our quiz nights in Wyke. We'll just give it a few minutes, just see if we get the stragglers in, because what normally happens is we make a start and then everybody comes and joins in, and then they miss all the first questions. So if you are new, just to explain how it works, we have 3 rounds of 30 questions. There's always a potluck round, a mixed bag question round in the middle. Basically, I will read all the questions out. I'll read them twice out to start with, going through. Then when we get to the end, I'll go through and I'll do a quick read through again. And then after that, I'll read out the questions. You mark your own questions. It's all done on trust. There's no prizes. It's all for fun. And it doesn't matter if you get 1 out of 30 or 30 out of 30. All we ask, if you get 1 out of 30, is you try and remember the answer so you learn something from the quiz. I must admit, over the last 9 or 10 weeks, I've learned a lot. Lots of questions have come up that I had no clue on whatsoever. And so hopefully there's a bit of extra knowledge sinking into my brain box that'll be used at some stage in the future. So, who else have we got? Anybody else new? Let's have a look. Anybody else new? Lots of familiar faces. Seamus, Yvonne, Joanna, Rachel, Doug, Helen. Who else we got? Michael, Janet, Meredy, Gillian, Denise. Denise is miles away downstairs in my house. Good evening, Denise. I think I saw you earlier today. Malcolm and Di, Angela, other Angela, Felicity, Jenny Hind, Les, hi Les, Tess, Tracy Winder, Cassie. Goodness, lots and lots of people. Well, you're all very, very welcome, and hopefully you'll have a nice evening this evening. Before we start, I just mentioned a few weeks ago on VE Day, we did a Zoom tea party on the Friday afternoon, which about 30 households joined in with. By popular demand, we're going to do another Zoom tea party on Pentecost Sunday, the Sunday after next, at 4 in the afternoon. So watch out in the Parish emailed newsletter for the joining instructions for that. But that's a week on Sunday at 4 in the afternoon. We're going to do another Parish Zoom tea party where we can all get together, we can see each other, we can have a chat, catch up, and see how everybody's doing. So that's because people enjoyed it and wanted to do it again. Okay, so are we ready for our first round of questions tonight? I've just got to find the book. Oh, here's the book. Helpful if we've got the book. So our first round tonight is on paintings and sculptures. Paintings and sculptures. So the way it works, as we said, is I read out the questions, you write them down. Nobody puts the answers in the comments to spoil it for everybody, but we'll go through, we'll then do the answers, and then you just tell each other how you've scored, and you know, we'll see who the clever ones are and 2 the not so clever ones are, and I'm the not so clever end, so don't worry. If you do poorly, if I was doing the questions, I'd be down at the bottom, so you won't be on your own. So, our first round tonight, 30 questions on painters and sculptors. Are you ready? Question number 1. Which John painted the Hay Wain? Which John painted the Hay Wain? He did have a link with Weymouth, and he did paint something in Weymouth as well. You may not know that. Number 2. What was the surname of outrageous artist Salvador? What was the surname of outrageous artist Salvador? Number 3. Which city, famous for its canals, did Canaletto paint? Which city, famous for its canals, did Canaletto paint? I see Becky saying, Arthur Wilson, are you there? I haven't seen Arthur tonight. Oh, he is. Excellent. There he is. He is here. Arthur and family are here. They usually do pretty well in our quizzes, so it's good to have them with us again. So, question number 4. What was the first name of Impressionist painter Cézanne? What was the first name of Impressionist painter Cézanne? Which Leonardo, question number 5, painted the Mona Lisa or painted Mona Lisa? Which Leonardo painted Mona Lisa? Number 6. Which parts of the Venus de Milo are missing? Which parts of the Venus de Milo are missing? Number 7. Which animals is George Stubbs famous for painting? Which animals is George Stubbs famous for painting? Having said that I'm not very good at these quizzes, actually I do quite well on this round so far. I'm not really into painters and sculptors, but actually these questions are pretty good for me. Okay, number 8. Which pool was famous for paintings of the South Seas? Which pool was famous for paintings of the South Seas? Number 9. Which Vincent lost an ear? Which Vincent lost an ear for number 9? Number 10. Which was the first name of pop artist Warhol? What was the first name of pop artist Warhol? Goodness, this is going to be a difficult question. I always get the questions with the things I can't pronounce. Here we go. Let's try this one. How is Francisco de Goya Lucentes more simply known? How is Francisco de Goya y Lucentes more simply known? I don't know if I've said that right. It might mean something to somebody. I haven't got a clue on this one, I have to be honest. How is Francisco de Goya y Lucentes more simply known? Interesting, that one. Number 12. Which Greek artist's name means the Greek? Which Greek artist's name means the Greek? Number 13. Which Spanish painter Pablo was the founder of Cubism? Which Spanish painter Pablo was the founder of Cubism? Number 14. Who was famous for his posters of French dance halls and cabarets? Who was famous for his posters of French dance halls and cabarets? Number 15. What was the nationality of Rembrandt? What was the nationality of Rembrandt? So that's the first 15 questions. Halfway through the first round, I wonder how you're doing. Is this a good round for you or not such a good round? Is the wine helping or is the wine making it all a little bit fuzzy? We'll see when we do the marking. Number 16. Edouard and Claude were Manet and Monet. Which was which? Edouard and Claude were Manet and Monet. Which was which? Number 17. Which items useful on a rainy day did Renoir paint? Which items useful on a rainy day did Renoir paint? Number 18. Which branch of the arts was Barbara Hepworth famous for? Which branch of the arts was Barbara Hepworth famous for? Number 19. And again, this is a difficult pronunciation one. I think I know how to say this one, but we'll see. What was the nationality of Albrecht Dürer? Albrecht Dürer. Albrecht Dürer. Durer. What was the nationality of Albrecht Dürer? Or Albrecht Dürer, maybe. Albrecht, probably. Number 20. What art gallery is in Trafalgar Square? What art gallery is in Trafalgar Square? Now, I've noticed that a few people have joined us during the last few questions. Don't worry, we are almost through round one, but I will go through round one questions again when we get to the end, just so anybody that's missed the first questions can catch up. So, question 20. What art gallery is in Trafalgar Square? Number 21. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? Number 22. In late 1995, the painting of which royal caused controversy? In late 1995, the painting of which royal caused controversy, or controversy, however you want to say it. Okay, 23. What is the first name of pop artist Hockney? What is the first name of pop artist Hockney? Number 24. Which Tudor king is Hans Holbein famous for painting? Which Tudor king is Hans Holbein famous for painting? Number 25. Which metal is sculptress Elizabeth Frink famous for using? Which metal is sculptress Elizabeth Frink famous for using? 26. What was the nationality of portrait painter Milias? Millais. What was the nationality of portrait painter Milias? Number 27. Which member of the royal family has had his paintings reproduced on a set of stamps? Which member of the royal family has had his paintings reproduced on a set of stamps? Number 28. Which London art gallery was founded with the financial support of a sugar merchant? Which London art gallery was founded with the financial support of a sugar merchant? Number 29. What is the first name of sculptor Moore? Moore. What is the first name of sculptor Moore? And number 30. Which English artist is famous for his matchstick men pictures? Which English artist is famous for his matchstick men pictures? So that's the first 30 questions. I'll just give you a chance to look down through those and see what you need to watch out for as I zip through them one more time, just to enable you to catch up and fill any gaps. Okay then, so whipping through those questions just quickly, yet again, just to fill in any gaps. Number 1, which John painted the Hay Wain? Number 2, what was the surname of outrageous artist Salvador? Number 3, which city famous for its canals did Canaletto paint? Number 4, what was the first name of Impressionist painter Cézanne? Number 5, which Leonardo painted Mona Lisa? Number 6, which parts of the Venus de Milo are missing? Number 7, which animal is George Stubbs famous for painting? Number 8, which Paul was famous for paintings of the South Seas? Number 9, which Vincent lost an ear? Number 10, what was the first name of pop artist Warhol? Number 11, how is Francisco de Goya y Lucentes more simply known? Francisco de Goya y Lucentes more simply known. Number 12, which Greek artist's name means the Greek? Number 13, which Spanish painter Pablo was the founder of Cubism? Number 14, who was famous for posters of French dance halls and cabarets? Number 15, what was the nationality of Rembrandt? Edouard and Claude were Manet and Monet. Which was which? Number 17, which items useful on a rainy day did Renoir paint? Number 18, which branch of the arts was Barbara Hepworth famous for? Number 19, what was the nationality of Albrecht Dürer? Number 20, which art gallery is in Trafalgar Square? 21, who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? 22, in late 1995, the painting of which royal caused a controversy? 23, what is the first name of pop artist Hockney? 24, which Tudor king is Hans Holbein famous for painting? 25, which metal is sculptress Elizabeth Frink famous for using? 26, what was the nationality of portrait painter Milias? 27, which member of the royal family has had his paintings reproduced on a set of stamps? 28, which London art gallery was founded with the financial support of a sugar merchant? 29, what is the first name of sculptor Moore? And finally, number 30, which English artist is famous for his matchstick men pictures? So that's the first 30 questions. We'll now go through and give you the answers, and so you can actually see how well you've done. So are you ready to mark your own answers? We trust that you'll do it fairly. So number 1, which John painted the Hay Wain? It was Constable. Number 2, what was the surname of outrageous artist Salvador? It was Dali, spelled D-A-L-I. Number 3, which city famous for its canals did Canaletto paint? It was Venice. Number 3, Venice. Number 4, what was the first name of Impressionist painter Cézanne? It was Paul. Paul for number 4. Paul Cézanne. Number 5. Which Leonardo painted the Mona Lisa? It was Da Vinci. Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci. Number 6. Which parts of the Venus de Milo are missing? Which parts of the Venus de Milo are missing? It's the arms. The arms for number 6. Number 7. Which animals is George Stubbs famous for painting? It's horses. Number 7. Horses. Number 8. Which pool was famous for paintings of the South Seas? It was Gauguin. Paul Gauguin. So Gauguin for number 8. Number 9. Which Vincent lost an ear? It was Van Gogh. Van Gogh, number 9. Vincent van Gogh. Number 10. What was the first name of pop artist Warhol? It was Andy Warhol, number 10. The one I really struggled with. How is Francisco de Goya y Lucentes more simply known? The answer is Goya. G-O-Y-A, Goya. You can understand why they're known as Goya, can't you, with a name like that? Okay, which Greek artist's name means the Greek? El Greco for number 12. El Greco means the Greek. Number 13. Which Spanish painter Pablo was the founder of Cubanism? It was Picasso. Pablo Picasso, number 13. Number 14. Who was famous for his posters of French dance halls and cabarets? It was Toulouse-Lautrec. Toulouse-Lautrec, number 14. Number 15. What was the nationality of Rembrandt? What was the nationality of Rembrandt? It was Dutch. Dutch for number 15. Number 16. Edouard and Claude were Manet and Monet. Which was which? So, Edouard Manet and Claude Monet. The answer was Edouard Manet and Claude Monet. Number 17. Which items useful on a rainy day did Renoir paint? It was umbrellas. Umbrellas. Number 17. Number 18. Which branch of arts was Barbara Hepworth famous for? It was sculpture. Sculpture. Number 18. Sculpture. Number 19. What was the nationality of Albrecht Dürer or Albrecht Dürer? Number 19 was German. German. Number 20. Which art gallery is in Trafalgar Square? It's the National Gallery. Number 20. National Gallery. Number 21. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? It was Michelangelo. Michelangelo, number 21. Number 22. In late 1995, the painting of which royal caused controversy? It was the Princess of Wales. Princess of Wales. Or you could have Diana, Princess of Wales, or anything other way of referring to her. So Diana, Princess of Wales, Princess Diana, anything like that. 23. What is the first name of pop artist Hockney? It's David Hockney, number 23. Number 24. Which Tudor king is Hans Holbein famous for painting? It's Henry VIII. Henry VIII, number 24. Number 25. Which metal is sculptress Elizabeth Frink famous for using? It is bronze. Number 25, bronze. Number 26. What was the nationality of portrait painter Milias? Number 26, English. English for number 26. Number 27. Which member of the royal family has had his paintings reproduced on a set of stamps? It is Prince Charles. Prince Charles. Also will accept the Prince of Wales. So Prince Charles or the Prince of Wales. Number 28. Which London art gallery was founded with the financial support of a sugar merchant? Well, it's in the name, isn't it? It's the Tate. The Tate. Tate and Lyle were the sugar people, weren't they? So it's the Tate. Number 29. What was the first name of sculptor Moore? Sculptor Moore. It was Henry Moore. Henry for number 29. And finally in this round, number 30. Which English artist is famous for his Matchstalk Men pictures? I'm sure you've all got that one. It was L.S. Lowry. L.S. Lowry. We will also accept Lowry on its own. So either L.S. Lowry or Lowry. Right, top up how you've done on that round. And when you've topped up your scores, put them up in the comments if you're on Facebook. We still haven't worked out on for our YouTube viewers how to get the comments back from you. I believe it is possible, but I'm still investigating that. So I'm sorry we can't get your feedback this week, but hopefully by next week I will have it fixed. I thought I had it fixed yesterday, but the software I downloaded to do it didn't work. So it's back to the drawing board. So the scores are coming in. 28 for Sheila, 28 for Gillian, 27 for Meredy. Alistair's just watching. Has he not got a score? 28 for Bishop Karen, 22 for Denise. Well done, Denise. 28 for Angela. 21 for Pauline. Good scores coming in here. 21 for Doug. Yvonne, what was the answer to 26? Right, 26. The answer was English. Answer to 26 was English, Yvonne. Malcolm and Diana, 25. Tess, 20. Sue, 27. Jane and Jeff, 28. Seamus, 15. Joanna, 29. God, we got some good scores here, haven't we? Alistair, hi everyone. He still hasn't got a score. 24 for Michael and Di. 24 for Tracy. 26 was English. That's correct, Denise. Yeah. 19 was Les. Yeah. If you've not joined us before, you realise that there is a time lag between me speaking and the broadcast getting to your screen of about 15 seconds. So sometimes it's a bit strange when something pops up in the messages and it takes me a while to respond to it. Or I say something and it takes you a while to respond to me. So just be aware of that. 28 for Yvonne, 22 for Helen. Excellent. Doing really well. So that was a good round to start with, wasn't it? That most people seem to do well with paintings and sculptures. So our next round, being the middle round, is our potluck round. Our potluck round. Let me find the right page. Still got some scores coming in, have we? Which one did you get wrong? Yeah, I bet that's asking Arthur, isn't it? A family. I wonder which one they did get wrong. Are we going to find out? We might find out in a minute which one the Wilsons got wrong. They don't often get many wrong. But there are 4 of them, I think. I think there's 2 adults and 2 children. So there's got a good team and a good spread of knowledge in the Wilson household. So, are we ready for round 2? Our potluck round. Again, 30 questions. And here we go. Number 1. Whose famous theorem is concerned with the sums of the squares of the sides of right-angled triangles? Sorry, I had a delivery of pondweed. He's always got an excuse for being late, hasn't he? Sorry, I had a delivery of pondweed. Goodness. Alistair's book of excuses. That is almost as good as his book of jokes. I don't know if you're following on Facebook Brother Alistair's jokes that he puts up most days. They're worth a look if you haven't had a look. They are quite good. Anyway, they tickle my sense of humour. So number 1, whose famous theorem is concerned with the sums of the squares of the sides of right-angled triangles? So a maths question to start with. Number 2, what was mastermind winner Fred Housego's job? Or Housego's job? Housego. I think I know the answer to that one, but I didn't know the name. Number 3. Whom did Neil Kinnock succeed as leader of the Labour Party? Who did Neil Kinnock succeed as leader of the Labour Party? Number 4. What relation was Mary I to Elizabeth I? What relation was Mary I to Elizabeth I? Number 5. Which writer became Children's Laureate in 2015? Which writer became Children's Laureate in 2015? Number 6. Which ocean lies to the north of Russia? Which ocean lies to the north of Russia? Number 7. In which mythology does Yggdrasil feature? Yggdrasil. I don't know how you say that. Somebody will have to tell me that when I see him. In which mythology does Yggdrasil feature? Yggdrasil. I'm not very good as a quizmaster when the words are difficult, especially Greek and Latin and things like that. But we get by. Anyway, number 8, here we go. How many stepchildren does Prince Charles have? How many stepchildren does Prince Charles have? Number 9. Who directed the 2015 movie The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Who directed the 2015 movie The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Number 10. What is the Cortaderia Salonia, better known as? The Cortaderia Salonia. Cortaderia Salonia. Sellonia, better known as. The Cortaderia Salonia. Yeah, that one anyway. What's that better known as? Probably much easier than the word I've just had to try and read out. Number 11. Of which ballet is Prince Siegfried hero? Of what ballet is Prince Siegfried hero? Number 12. What was William Gladstone's middle name? What was William Gladstone's middle name? Number 13. Who led the British forces during the siege of Mafeking? Who led the British forces during the siege of Mafeking? There's some people listening who'll definitely know that one. Number 14. Who wrote The Thorn Birds? Who wrote The Thorn Birds? Number 15. In which decade did John Logie Baird invent television? In which decade did John Logie Baird invent television? Number 16. What gas is given off by pouring dilute sulfuric acid onto granulated zinc? So there's one for anybody that does their chemistry, isn't it? What gas is given off by pouring dilute sulfuric acid onto granulated zinc? I think I've got an idea on that one, actually. No, it's not what I thought it was. I just looked at the answer and it wasn't what I thought it was. Number 17. Who was England's coach in France 98? Who was England's coach in France 98? Number 18. God, this one takes you back a while. This will take you back a while. What colour is the This Is Your Life book? Who remembers This Is Your Life? Goodness, I used to watch that every week. What colour is This Is Your Life book? Number 19. What is another name for the Russian wolfhound? What is another name for the Russian wolfhound? Number 20. Another sciencey one. What is the boiling point of water on the Fahrenheit scale? What is the boiling point of water on the Fahrenheit scale? Number 21. Are you up on your ologies? Are you up on your ologies? It's an ology question. Which ology is concerned with fossils? Which ology is concerned with fossils? Everybody who lives down on the south coast between sort of Lyme Regis through to Swanage ought to know about the ology that's concerned with fossils. We've got one of the best areas for fossils in the UK along our coast. And there's a lovely fossil museum in Kimmeridge, and if you've never been there, it's a small museum, it's a new museum, but there are some fantastic fossils in that museum. Number 22. Which reporter fronted the film footage that sparked off Band-Aid? Which reporter fronted the film footage that sparked off Band-Aid? Number 23. Whose nickname was the wisest fool in Christendom? Whose nickname was the wisest fool in Christendom? Yes, I guess you're referring to the museum being closed, Alistair. It is closed, and so is Kimmeridge closed. My business partner lives in Kimmeridge, and it's locked down. You're not supposed to be able to go to Kimmeridge, but they've had some massive problems this last week with everybody driving to Kimmeridge and blocking the place up, and the fire brigade not getting through, and all sorts of weird, wonderful things. Lovely place, but not when thousands of people decide to go there when it's shut. Number 24. In which book did John le Carre's George Smiley first appear? In which book did John le Carre's, or John le Carre probably, George Smiley first appear? Number 25. The aftershave instinct was created by which married couple? The aftershave instinct was created by which married couple? 26. A temple to whom was sited at Ephesus? A temple to whom was sited at Ephesus? Number 26. There's a question for me here. One of my favourite topics. Who was 007's boss? Who was 007's boss? Number 28. In opera, whose tiny hand was frozen? In opera, whose tiny hand was frozen? Number 29. What was landscape gardener Capability Brown's What was landscape gardener Capability Brown's real first name? What was landscape gardener Capability Brown's real first name? And number 30. Which composer had a Broadway hit with Song and Dance? Which composer had a Broadway hit with Song and Dance? So there's the 30 questions. I'll just give you a chance to have a look down through them and decide which ones you need to catch as I go through them all at speed again. I say, yeah, somebody's commented about the museum. It's a nice little museum at Kimmeridge. If you've ever want to run out when things get back to normal, it's a very modern museum. It's only been open a couple of years, and it's basically one chap's collection of fossils, a plumber from Wareham, and I'm trying to think of his name. It's gone from me, but he used to collect fossils in his part-time and store them in his garages, and basically he got some national lottery funding to have this special museum built where he's got his fossil collection, and you can see him actually restoring fossils and presenting them, having got them out the ground. But it's a lovely little museum. Just opposite is a nice cafe as well, and it's a lovely area to have a walk around as well. So yeah, nice time to have a trip down there. Not too far away. You've got the other little village that was used in the war by the army, and the name of that's gone from me as well. And it's nice all out round there when that's opened. The ranges are open, and you can go. Tyneham, that's the village I was thinking of. Nice to Etches collection. Yeah, thank you, Angela. Yeah, it's John Etches, and it's the Etches Collection Museum in Kimmeridge. Is it Steve Etches? Is it? Yes, it is Steve Etches, actually, not John. Yeah, it is the Etches collection, but it's a wonderful collection of fossils. Right, I'm going to read through the questions then, all 30 again, before we mark them. So this is round 2, potluck, whizzing through the questions so you can catch any that you missed the first time round or you want to check your answers on. Number 1, whose famous theorem is concerned with the sums of the squares of the... oh dear, I've got a frog. Whose famous theorem is concerned with the sums of the squares of the sides of right-angled triangles? Number 2, what was mastermind winner Fred Husigo's job, or Housego's or Husigo's job? Number 3, whom did Neil Kinnock succeed as leader of the Labour Party? Number 4, what relation was Mary I to Elizabeth I? Number 5, which writer became Children's Laureate in 2015? Number 6, which ocean lies to the north of Russia? Number 7, in which mythology does whatever that word was, Yggdrasil, Yggdrasil feature? Somebody will have to tell me how you say that. How many stepchildren does Prince Charles have? Number 8. Number 9, who directed the 2015 movie The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Number 10, what is Cortadera Salona better known as? Cortaderia Salonia, better known as. Number 11, of which ballet is Prince Siegfried hero? Number 12, what was William Gladstone's middle name? Number 13, who led the British forces during the Siege of Mafeking? Number 14, who wrote The Thornbirds? Number 15, in which decade did John Logie Baird invent television? Number 16, which gas or what gas is given off by pouring dilute sulfuric acid onto granulated zinc? Who was England's coach in France 98? That's number 17. Number 18, what colour is the This Is Your Life book? Number 19, what is another name for the Russian wolfhound? Number 20, what is the boiling point of water on the Fahrenheit scale? Number 21, what ology is concerned with fossils? Number 22, which reporter fronted the film footage that sparked off Band-Aid? Number 23, whose nickname was the wisest fool in Christendom? Number 24, in which book did John le Carré's George Smiley first appear? Number 25, the aftershave Instinct was created by which married couple? Number 26, a temple to whom was sited at Ephesus? Number 27, who was 007's boss? Number 28, in opera, whose tiny hand was frozen? Number 29, what was landscape gardener Capability Brown's real first name? And number 30, which composer had a Broadway hit with Song and Dance? That's our second round. That's potluck. And we're going to now go through the answers to our potluck round. Are you ready to mark round 2? Okay, number 1. Whose famous theorem is concerned with the sums of the squares of the sides of right-angled triangles? It's Pythagoras. Pythagoras, number 1. What was mastermind winner Fred Hasego's job? He was a taxi driver. A taxi driver. Number 3. Who did Neil Kinnock succeed as leader of the Labour Party? It was Michael Foot. Michael Foot. What do you remember about Michael Foot? I remember his hair. That's what I remember about Michael Foot. It always seemed to have a long piece of hair that came over his face, didn't it? Number 4. What relation was Mary the First to Elizabeth the First? Right, she was her half sister. So it's half sister. Number 5. Which writer became Children's Laureate in 2015? It's Chris Riddell or Chris Riddell. Number 6. Which ocean lies to the north of Russia? It's the Arctic Ocean. Number 6. The Arctic Ocean. Number 7. In which mythology does Yggdrasil feature, or whatever it is? It's Scandinavian. Yeah, that does sound like a Scandinavian name, doesn't it? So if anybody's an expert on Scandinavian, when I next see you, tell me how to say that name. Number 8. How many stepchildren does Prince Charles have? He has 2 stepchildren. 2 for number 8. Number 9. Who directed the 2015 movie The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? It was Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie. I don't know if he still has a house in Dorset, but he owned a big house in Dorset, didn't he, Guy Ritchie? Don't know if he still got it, but maybe he still lives close by. Number 10. What is Cortaderia salonia better known as? Pampas grass. Number 10. Pampas grass. Now, I've learned something. I didn't know that one. Number 11. Of which ballet is Prince Siegfried the hero? It is Swan Lake. Swan Lake. Number 12. What was William Gladstone's middle name? It was Ewart. Ewart. And number 13. Who led the British forces during the siege of Mafeking? For all you Cubs, Scouts, Beavers, etc. out there, it was Robert Baden-Powell. Robert Baden-Powell. Number 14. Who wrote The Thornbirds? Colleen McCullough or Cullough. Colleen McCullough or Cullough. Number 15. In which decade did John Logie Baird invent television? It was the 1920s. 1920s for number 15. Here's our chemistry question. What gas is given off by pouring dilute sulfuric acid onto granulated zinc? It's hydrogen. Hydrogen. I got that one wrong. Number 17. Who was England's coach in France 98? It was Glenn Hoddle. Glenn Hoddle, number 17. Number 18. What colour is the This Is Your Life book? We all remember This Is Your Life, I'm sure. It was red, wasn't it? The red book. This Is Your Life. Number 19. What is another name for the Russian wolfhound? It's a borzoi. A borzoi. Number 20. What is the boiling point of water on the Fahrenheit scale? The boiling point of water on the Fahrenheit scale. It was 212 degrees. 212 degrees. Our ology question. What ology is concerned with fossils? Paleontology. Paleontology, the study of fossils. Number 21. Number 22. Which reporter fronted the film footage that sparked off Band Aid? What reporter fronted the film footage that sparked off Band Aid? It was Michael Burke. Michael Burke, number 22. 23. Whose nickname was the wisest fool in Christendom? The wisest fool in Christendom. It was James the Sixth of Scotland, who was also James the First of England. So you can have James the Sixth of Scotland or James the First of England, or both, for that question. Number 24. In which book did John le Carré's George Smiley first appear? It was Call for the Dead. Call for the Dead, number 24. Number 25. I'm sure you all know the answer to this one. I think it's Alistair's favourite aftershave. The aftershave instinct was created by which married couple? It was David and Victoria Beckham. David and Victoria Beckham. Number 26. A temple to whom was sited at Ephesus? It was Diana. Diana, number 26. Number 27. Who was 007's boss? Who was 007's boss? And I'm sure you all got that one. It was M. M. Number 28. In opera, whose tiny hand was frozen? It was Mimi's in La Boheme. Mimi's in La Boheme. Johnny and Frank Craddock. Yeah. Alistair reckons that Instinct was done by Johnny and Frank Craddock. Yeah. Or Fanny Craddock. Sorry, Johnny and Fanny Craddock. Read it right. Number 30, the last one in this range. Which composer had a Broadway hit with song and dance? It was Andrew Lloyd Webber. Andrew Lloyd Webber. So, that's the end of that round. Let's tot up your answers that you got right. And if you're able to, if you're on Facebook, pop up your scores on the chat. And whilst you're doing that, I will find the last round ready for this evening. Oh, you need 29. What, the answer to 29? Did I miss that one? Sorry. I did. You're absolutely right. I didn't read that one out, did I? Hang on. Let me just go back to that one. Thank you. Well spotted. I don't know why I missed that one out. Thank you for letting me know. Let's go back to the question. So, yes, what was the landscape gardener, Capability Brown's real first name? It was Lancelot. Lancelot Capability Brown, number 29. Sorry for missing that one. I don't know why I skipped over that one. So number 29 was Lancelot. Lancelot Capability Brown. Somebody who's responsible for designing the massive gardens on some of the biggest houses in England and country estates. Very well known name in gardening, particularly in large properties. So how are we doing? 16, 9, goodness, 11, 14, goodness. Some of you found that round a bit tough. Arthur, 28. That was a potluck round. Normally people do pretty well on the potluck, but I see some of you are struggling a bit on that one. Goodness. It's how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? You know, another 30 questions picked at sort of random. You could have got 38 of 30. It just depends what questions go in the mix and whether those topics are something you know about, isn't it? It's very, very difficult with these questions. But it doesn't matter. It's all for fun. And if you got them wrong, you may have learnt something for next time. That's how I look at it. That's why I like quizzes, because I'm always learning. Problem is I don't retain it very easily. I need to learn and retain. I think my brain cells are slowly becoming not very good at retaining stuff. Okay, so we'll start then with our last round. And our last round tonight, round 3, is TV Who's Who. So it's all about TV Who's Who. Each week I try and do a mix of questions so that there's something for everyone. I appreciate that it won't, painting and sculpture won't be something for everyone, and neither will TV. But hopefully with the potluck in the middle, that there are some questions that people find that they know the answers to. Because what I'd hate is that we have 3 rounds and nobody can answer any of the questions at all. Because we do have we've got about 50 households linked in at the moment. So, we've got 75 plus people taking part tonight, probably more than that. And of course, they'll all have different interests and different knowledge and be different age ranges. So it's quite difficult to get a mix that suits everybody. But hopefully I'm not doing too bad. Okay, so let's go with round 3. Round 3, which is our TV Who's Who. And our first question: who portrays drug kingpin Pablo Escobar in Netflix's 2015 drama Narcos? Who portrays drug kingpin Pablo Escobar in Netflix's 2015 drama Narcos? Number 2. Which EastEnders character was played by veteran actor Ray Brooks? Which EastEnders character was played by veteran actor Ray Brooks? Number 3. Who is the priest played by Stephen Tompkinson in Ballykiss Angel? Who is the priest played by Stephen Tompkinson in Ballykiss Angel? I used to like Ballykiss Angel. That must have been a fair few years that finished, wasn't it? Used to like that. I remember Dervla Kirwan was in that. Dervla Kirwan. And Stephen Tompkinson. So what was the priest played by Stephen Tompkinson in Ballykiss Angel? Who replaced Botham and Beaumont on A Question of Sport? Who replaced Botham and Beaumont on A Question of Sport? Now, I have to say, I'm not into sport at all, but I do like watching A Question of Sport. I do like watching it because they do sort of some weird sort of acting bits and those sort of quizzy things which are quite good fun. So I'm not into sport, but I do watch A Question of Sport and find it actually quite good fun. Number 5. Which Martin played Judge John Deed? Judge John Deed. Another one I used to quite enjoy that one. Which Martin played Judge John Deed? And here we go. Here's a Blue Peter question. Who left Blue Peter to join the Clothes Show team? Who left Blue Peter to join the Clothes Show team? Number 7. Who is known as Mr. Trick Shot? Who is known as Mr. Trick Shot? These questions are pretty good for me so far. Oh, and the next one. Who starred as Blanco in Porridge? Number 8. Who starred as Blanco in Porridge? Number 8. And I have to say, I didn't realise it was him. The first time I saw it, his makeup was so good, I didn't realise who it was, although I'd seen this character in lots of other things and quite liked the other things that he did. But when he played Blanco in Porridge, first time round, I didn't realise who it was. So, who starred as Blanco in Porridge? Number 9. Which TV star's first record released was Extremis or Extremis? Which TV star's first record release was Extremis or Extremis? Number 10. Malcolm Tucker was played to perfection by which Scottish actor? Malcolm Tucker was played to perfection by which Scottish actor? Number 11. If my father-in-law is watching this, which I think he might be, this might be a question for him. We've watched many of these over Christmas. Who were the stars of A Close Shave? Who were the stars of A Close Shave? Number 12. Who wrote The Singing Detective and Pennies from Heaven? Who wrote The Singing Detective and Pennies from Heaven? Number 13. Which Agatha Christie sleuth was played by Geraldine McEwen? Which Agatha Christie sleuth was played by Geraldine McEwen? Number 14. Who co-starred with Adam Faith in Love Hurts? Who co-starred with Adam Faith in Love Hurts? Number 15. Who is Anthea Turner's TV presenter sister? Who is Anthea Turner's TV presenter sister? Number 16. Who left peak practice for Bliss? Who left peak practice for Bliss? Number 17. Which female replaced Matthew Kelly as host of Stars in Their Eyes? Which female replaced Matthew Kelly as host of Stars in Their Eyes? This is when this book was written, this was probably an old-fashioned question going back in history, but this is somebody who has reappeared on our screens in the last 10 weeks. That's giving you a clue. Who was known as the Green Goddess? Who was known as the Green Goddess? Number 19. Who first presented the weather on the BBC's Breakfast Time? Who first presented the weather on BBC Breakfast Time? Number 20. Who was known as the Galloping Gourmet? Who was known as the Galloping Gourmet? Number 21. Who became resident cook on GMTV in spring 1997? Who became resident cook on GMTV in spring 1997? Number 22. Who first presented the Antiques Roadshow in 1981? Who first presented the Antiques Roadshow in 1981? Number 23. Who first presented Channel 4's game show Deal or No Deal? Who first presented Channel 4's game show Deal or No Deal? Number 24. Who hosted the retrospective quiz show Backdate? Who hosted the retrospective quiz show Backdate? I've never actually heard of that quiz show, but maybe somebody has. Number 25. Which TV star was flown in from the US to introduce the Spice Girls' first live UK performance? Which TV star was flown in from the US to introduce the Spice Girls' first live UK performance? Number 26. Who is dubbed the King of Swing during election campaigns? Who has been dubbed the King of Swing during election campaigns? Number 27. Who replaced Anthea Turner on GMTV's Breakfast Couch? Who replaced Anthea Turner on GMTV's Breakfast Couch? Number 28. Who is Beverly Callard's actress daughter? Who is Beverly Callard's actress daughter? Number 28. Number 29. Who first presented 9 o'clock live on GMTV? Who first presented 9 o'clock live on GMTV? And number 30, who first presented Sunday AM, which replaced Breakfast with Frost? Who first presented Sunday AM, which replaced breakfast with frost? So that's the 30 questions in the last round. I'll just give you a second to glance over them a minute, and then I'll read them through once more before we do the answers. So this will give you the chance to fill in any gaps for any you couldn't answer the first time round, or to have a go at filling in the gaps, and to just check your answers and check you've put the right things down for those that you've already answered. Whilst we're just saying that, I'm not sure if I mentioned at the start, I think I might have done, that All Saints School, FASA, the Friends of All Saints School, are organising a quiz on the 11th of June at 6:30 in the evening. That's the 11th of June at 6:30 in the evening, and they have extended an invite to any members of the All Saints Church Facebook group. They know that we do a quiz, and actually, some of them join in with us on this quiz and some of the other things that happen in the parish. So if anybody's interested in that, do let me know. Either send me a message or email me. I will be putting the information out in the parish newsletter to everybody on the newsletter distribution. If you're not on the newsletter distribution and you want to go on, it goes out every Saturday with the various bits and pieces of things going on. Just go to the parish website, www.parishofwykeregis.org.uk. Go down to the bottom left hand side of the screen. You'll see there's two little white boxes. One says put your name in it, and one says your email address. You just put your name and email address in there, press the submit button, and you're automatically added to our distribution list. So we email out once every week, some weeks a second time if something special's on, just updating you on what's going on, what quizzes are going on, what other things are going on, anything special that's going on. And if you want to receive that information, which will have things like the All Saints School quiz on it, just put your name in there. If you don't want to and you just want information on the quiz, please just contact me direct, and I'll make sure that I pass on the information. Okay, so let's just read through these questions one more time before we do the answers. Number 1, who portrays drug kingpin Pablo Escobar in Netflix's 2015 drama Narcos? Number 2, which EastEnders character was played by veteran actor Ray Brooks? Number 3, who is the priest played by Stephen Tompkinson in Ballykiss Angel? Number 4, who replaced Botham and Beaumont on A Question of Sport? Number 5, which Martin played Judge John Deed? Number 6, who left Blue Peter to join the Close Show team? Number 7, who is known as Mr. Trickshot? Number 8, who starred as Blanco in Porridge? Number 9, which TV star's first record release was Extremis or Extremis? Number 10, Malcolm Tucker was played to perfection by which Scottish actor? Number 11, who were the stars of A Close Shave? Number 12, who wrote The Singing Detective and Pennies from Heaven? Number 13, which Agatha Christie sleuth was played by Geraldine McEwen? Number 14, who co-starred with Adam Faith in Love Hurts? Number 15, who is Anthea Turner's TV presenter sister? Number 16, who left Peak Practice for Bliss? Number 17, which female replaced Matthew Kelly as host of Star in Their Eyes? Number 18, who was known as the Green Goddess? Number 19, who first presented the weather on BBC Breakfast Time? Number 20, who was known as the Galloping Gourmet? 21, who became resident cook on GMTV in spring 1997? 22, who first presented the Antiques Roadshow in 1981? 23, who first presented Channel 4's game show Deal or No Deal? 24, who hosted the retrospective quiz show Backdate? 25, which TV star was flown in from the US to introduce the Spice Girls' first live UK performance? Number 26. Who is dubbed the King of Swing during election campaigns? Number 27. Who replaced Anthea Turner on GMTV's Breakfast Couch? Number 28. Who is Beverly Kellard's actress daughter? 29. Who first presented the 9 o'clock live on GMTV? And 30. Who first presented Sunday AM, which replaced Breakfast with Frost? So that's all the questions. We will now do the answers. Okay, answers to. Let's check I've got the right answers. Yep, definitely the right answers. The first week I did this, I printed the wrong answers out. And I thought, those don't look right. But they are the right answers this week. So, number 1, who portrays drug kingpin Pablo Escobar in Netflix's 2015 drama Narcos? It's Wagner Moura. Wagner Moura. Number 2, which EastEnders character was played by veteran actor Ray Brooks? It was Joe. Joe. Number 3, who is the priest played by Stephen Tompkinson in Ballykiss Angel? It's Peter Clifford. Peter Clifford. Who replaced Botham and Beaumont on A Question of Sport? It was Ali McCoist and John Parrott. Number 5. Which Martin played Judge John Deed? It was Shaw. Martin Shaw. Number 6. Who left Blue Peter to join the Clothes Show team? It was Tim Vincent. Tim Vincent. Who is known as Mr. Trickshot? Number 7. Who is known as Mr. Trickshot is John Virgo, the guy that does all these snooker tricks. Number 8. The one that I was surprised to learn who it was, and I didn't recognise him at first. Who starred as Blanco in Porridge? It was David Jason. David Jason. David Jason in lots and lots of things, but I did not recognise him with all that grey makeup on, making him look old and grey hair and very pasty in Porridge. So number 8, David Jason. Number 9, which TV star first record release was Extremis or Extremis? It was Gillian Anderson. Number 10, Malcolm Tucker was played to perfection by which Scottish actor? Number 10 is Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi. Number 11, who were the stars of A Close Shave? It was Wallace and Gromit. Good Christmas TV watching, isn't it? Wallace and Gromit. Made by Aardman. Number 12. Who wrote The Singing Detective and Pennies from Heaven? It was Dennis Potter. Dennis Potter. Which Agatha Christie sleuth was played by Geraldine McEwen? Geraldine McEwen. Well, if you didn't know this one, have a guess. Agatha Christie sleuth played by somebody. It's Miss Marple. Miss Marple. That was number 13. Number 14. Who co-starred with Adam Faith in Love Hurts? It was Zoe Wanamaker. Zoe Wanamaker. Number 14. Number 15. Who is Anthea Turner's TV presenter sister? It is Wendy Turner. Wendy Turner. Number 15. Number 16. Who left Peak Practice for Bliss? Who left Peak Practice for Bliss? It was Simon Shepherd. Simon Shepherd, number 16. Number 17. Which female replaced Matthew Kelly as host of Stars in Their Eyes? Number 17 was Kat Deely. Kat Deely. Number 18. Who was known as the Green Goddess? Well, she's been back on our screens the last few weeks on TV. Diana Moran. Diana Moran doing her exercises in a green leotard. The Green Goddess, Diana Moran. Number 19. Who first presented the weather on BBC Breakfast Time? Francis Wilson. Francis Wilson, number 19. Number 20. Who was known as the Galloping Gourmet? The Galloping Gourmet was Graham Kerr. Graham Kerr, number 20. Number 21. Who became the resident cook on GMTV in spring 1997? Yeah, Green Goddesses, Army Fire Engines. Yeah, I'll give you that one. You can have a yeah, Green Goddess, because well, it says who was known, Michael. It does not what was known, so it does relate to a person, doesn't it? Number 21. Who was the resident cook on GMTV in spring 1997? It was Ross Burden. Ross Burden. 22. Who first presented the Antiques Roadshow in 1981? Who remembers the Antiques Roadshow in 1981? I do. It was Hugh Scully. Hugh Scully. I've been a fan of the Antiques Roadshow ever since it started. I find it really fascinating, the value of things and all the weird and wonderful things that come up. Number 23. Who first presented Channel 4's game show, Deal or No Deal? It was Noel Edmonds. Noel Edmonds. Number 24. Who hosted the retrospective quiz show Backdate? Backdate. It was Valerie Singleton. I remember Valerie Singleton from Blue Peter days, but I didn't know she hosted a retrospective quiz show called Backdate, and I've never ever heard of it. But 24 was Valerie Singleton. Number 25. Which TV star was flown in from the US to introduce the Spice Girls' first live UK performance? It was Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston. Number 26. Who is dubbed as the King of Swing during election campaigns? It's Peter Snow. Peter Snow. And if you're wondering why he's the King of Swing and you haven't got a clue what it's about, it's because he used to have this massive swingometer, this arm that swung from one side to the rest depending on which way the votes were going. So Peter Snow was the King of Swing, or King of the Swingometer during election campaigns. Number 27. Who replaced Anthea Turner on GMTV's Breakfast Couch? It was Fiona Phillips. Number 27. Fiona Phillips. Number 28. Who is Beverly Callard's actress daughter? It is Rebecca Callard. Rebecca Callard. Number 28. Number 29. Who first presented 9 o'clock live on GMTV? It was Lorraine Kelly. Lorraine Kelly. And number 30. Who first presented Sunday AM, which replaced Breakfast with Frost? It was Andrew Marr. Number 30. Andrew Marr. So let's hear how you did on that round. I'm judging by the sort of sounds and the comments in the comments field that some people struggle with that round. Some of our top scorers normally, I think, may have found that a little bit difficult. So let's see how you did. Let's see if that was a good round for you or it wasn't a good round for you. Whether it was good or not, the one sure thing is, unless the technology fails or something major happens, we will be back here at 7:30 next Saturday for another quiz, if you want us to be. I'll try and pick some different questions. I will avoid football. That's the one thing I've been told to do, is to avoid football. So we won't have a round on football because you either know football or you don't. And I understand from the football people, and I was talking to Alan, I think, on one of the early weeks, football's one of those things. If you've got a team in football, you may not know a lot about other teams. You just know about your team. So it's not a good one to have on a general quiz, football. But we might have some sport next week. Who knows? We'll definitely have a potluck round. Goodness, some people are struggling on this one. 2, 4, 12. Goodness. 10. Oh dear, oh dear. That wasn't a good one, was it? That wasn't a good round. 3. Goodness me. It just shows, doesn't it? You can be really, really good at some things. You can get 30 out of 30 on some really difficult questions on paintings or art or opera. But then if you get TV and you don't watch TV or you don't watch that type of program, you can really, really struggle, can't you? But it doesn't really matter. It's all about the fun. We're here for fun. and to be together and to do something different than watching TV. That's probably why we're not doing too well on the quiz, because we're not watching TV, we're doing quizzes. Maybe there's a lesson to be learnt there. Anyway, thank you very much for coming along this evening. For those of you that want to join us, our main Sunday service is here tomorrow morning at 9:30. It will be on our Facebook group, it will be on our YouTube live channel, and it will also be on our Twitter feed via Periscope. We're now broadcasting simultaneously in 3 dimensions. Tomorrow morning we've got some guest people doing the intercessions, the prayers, and we have a musical piece from North Carolina in the USA from the Rayleigh Boys Choir, a lovely piece by John Rutter, which has been very interesting because I've actually been in touch with the person that filmed the video and the conductor and artistic director of the Rayleigh Boys Choir. And who knows, they said they may even be looking in on our service tomorrow from North Carolina, although it will start at 5:30 a.m. in the morning their time. I have told them they can watch it on catch-up TV, because that's the other good thing with our services, a bit like the BBC. If you miss it at 9:30 because you've gone out for a walk or you've overslept, or there's something on the TV you want to watch, you can go along to the Facebook group later in the day, or the next day, or later in the week, or the YouTube channel, and you can play it at a time convenient for you. And we know that lots of people are doing that. A couple of weeks ago, we had about 50 or 60 connections through to the Sunday morning service, and by 3 o'clock in the afternoon we'd had 197 people, or 197 people actually playing the video. So we do know that our services are going much wider than our community here in Wyke, Regis, and our regular church community. They're going out to the wider community, and they're going out across the world, and we've got people from all across the UK watching them, and we've got people from abroad watching them as well. And isn't that fantastic? If this awful situation of the coronavirus has done one thing for us, it has made us focus on what we're doing, and is actually making us reach out and offer something for everybody, which I find absolutely wonderful and a delight. So thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're halfway down that bottle of wine, now's the time to go and get some cheese and biscuits, and finish off the bottle of wine with some nice cheese and biscuits, and look forward to seeing you next week if our paths don't cross in the meantime. So it's thank you from me, and good night for now.